Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Shelby. We have the books that I read for the month of March, and it's a long list. So, we're just gonna jump right on in. I I've got my Goodreads up, so I can kind of hopefully like make sure that I have everything correct. Also, follow me on Goodreads. I believe it's linked down below. So first I finished off It Only Happens in the Movies by Holly Bourne. And I read this book February 25th to March 2nd. I gave it a 4-star. And this book I remember being like such an easy read and like just a chill read. And I loved how the main character Audrey, like how she deals with her emotions and like processes her emotions. Like you really get like her true inner dialogue when it comes to emotions. And like I just really liked that. And I liked that you experienced her go through heartbreak and rebuilding after heartbreak, and then heartbreak again, and then rebuilding after heartbreak. Like it's a teen love story, but also you like hear like her issues with her family. And the heartbreak isn't just with a boy, it's like with people in her family and stuff like that. And there's a lot in this book, but it was so good. Like I would highly recommend this one. And it doesn't end like a cliche love story. I'm just gonna say that much. Like it is so much more than like cliche love. It is like truly like about self-love and really like loving yourself and what that looks like. And yeah, I would suggest reading this. And then next is The Hunger Games, which I'm not gonna pull that. I have that up in my closet. I'm not gonna pull that because eventually I'm gonna just do a whole video on The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes and then the Hunger Games trilogy. I know TikTok is going through like a Hunger Games resurgence, which like get it. I used to love Hunger Games, and so like I'm excited that that's happening. And I know the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes movie is coming out sometime this fall, I believe. And yeah, I'm very excited. My next book I have is Heartbones. I read this when I was at my grandparents' for my sister's spring break, and for some reason Goodreads will not let me review this book. I don't know why. I have emailed them and asked them like why I can't review it, why I can't even see it when I search up Heartbones. And so yeah, my review is on my notes app and I will keep it there until I'm able to do that on Goodreads. I don't know why, but early March my Goodreads just like, I don't know what happened, but it's almost tempting to like recreate an account, but then I'm gonna lose everything that I've already got. But yeah, if you know how to work Goodreads and help me, let me know, because I don't know what's going on. But I read this March 6th through 9th. I gave it a 5-star. I will say if you don't like Colleen Hoover, this month is not the month for you to watch because there's a lot of coho in this. This book followed Samson and Bea. Bea, I'm not totally sure. But it says Bea comes from a life of poverty and neglect, Samson from a family of wealth. And it's interesting like the way that all of that unfolds, and I really like Bea's story and like her really like she found family and family that was already existed. She found family in like her dad and his new wife and her stepsister, and like really what that became, because she didn't have like a good relationship with him. And like she really became who she was supposed to become, I believe. And like through all of this you find out some things about Samson that you're not, he kind of becomes the villain, but also like there's a sweet part about him. You just kind of have to read it. It was good. I would reread it. I really liked it. I used plenty of tabs on it. Yeah, I would suggest reading this. And then next I have Little Fires Everywhere. Guys, I got like 200 pages in and I just had to stop. This book is so boring. Like, why did this book pop off on like Bookstagram 2 years ago? It's not it. I cannot figure out what the hype is. I DNF'd this. I gave it a 1 star just to get it like off of my currently rating list, and yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand the hype. I don't like the way that the author writes. Yeah, it just was not good. I liked the show when I watched the show, and so like I had already known some of the characters, and there's something about it that I could not get into, and that's that. Soof. This book is like is very much like 5th grade, 4th grade reading, but it's like the follow-up for So Be It, and it's the follow-up many years later. I really liked this. Such an easy, simple, quick read. I read it on March 16th. I gave it a 3 star just because it's not something that I'm going to pick up all the time. So Be It, if you didn't watch my February video, I have a very like strong connection to So Be It. I've read it like 100 times, I swear. And I just love that book, and I will always love that book, and it makes me cry every single time. And so Soof I did not realize existed until this reread of So Be It, and so I had to order it and read it. But it's about Aurora and like her mom and dad, and like her feeling not good enough compared to Heidi, but Heidi is a grown woman in this book. And yeah, it is multiple years later. I believe like 10 or 13 years later. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed Aurora's connection to Heidi as life went on, and yeah, it was good. I would recommend, if you've read So Be It and really liked So Be It, I would just recommend reading this just to kind of like continue on the story, and get more of it. The next 4 books go together, and first is Hopeless. These are all Colleen Hoover, by the way. And looking back, I think I was confused when I reviewed this. I did give it a 4 star. I read it March 16th through March 20th. And I said not my favorite Coho book, which it's still not, but I think I prefer this one over Losing Hope. I don't know, they're kind of tied. But it's a good one. I really like Sky, and I like her progression, and I really like her story, and like just the twists and turns. And then I guess I'll talk about both of these together. And then Losing Hope, they go together essentially. It's pretty much the same story. You can read one and then the other. I would suggest reading Hopeless first. I believe it's the one that was written first, and then reading Losing Hope. It gives you a little bit more context. And because I feel like if you read this one first, you would know how this story ends, and that's not as fun. Because this truly, like, it's truly Sky's story with Dean in it. So this is Sky's book, this is Dean's book, and it's the same events told from each of their perspective. And I really liked that. And there's a lot of twists and turns. Sky ends up not being Sky, and yeah, it's good. I really liked this. And yeah, there's a lot of history between the two of them. Yeah, I really like it. Obviously, I tabbed it a lot. I have started tabbing this year, and I just really like it. I got a bunch of new tabs, and it's been so fun to like color coordinate. So yeah, if you read and you don't tab, I would suggest tabbing. And then this book is Daniel, who is Holder, like Holder's best friend. This book's kind of beat up, but that's fine. Daniel is Holder's best friend, and him and Sky's best friend, Six, they become a thing, and yeah, they become a thing because like it's a really cute story about why he calls her Cinderella. And I don't know, this whole like grouping of books is good because of it's a grouping of books. I feel like if it was just one individual book, I wouldn't like it as much. But Daniel's story is he meets this girl. He like doesn't have like a fifth hour or something, and he's hanging out in a closet, and a girl stumbles in, and then like it's dark or whatever, and they don't see each other. Then like a week later she stumbles in or something. They end up having sex, but in a way you just kind of have to read that part to understand. And then they don't get each other's names, they don't see who they are or anything, and then Six ends up going over like abroad to Italy. I believe it's only for 6 months, like for a semester. She comes home, she's hanging out with Sky and Holder. Daniel's obviously there because he's Holder's best friend, and he essentially falls in love, and yeah, there's some twists and turns. I guess I can spoil it. She got pregnant from the boy in the closet, which was Daniel, went over to Italy, adopted the baby out. Like, she found out she was pregnant in Italy, I believe. She adopted the baby out, and yeah, that's that. Because this book goes into it more, but yeah, it's a short, sweet little novella. I think that there's 130 pages in this, so super quick, easy read. I did not give you the dates for any of those, but I essentially read them like all within like a 6-day time span. I've read all 4 of these. And then so the finishing of this is Finding Perfect, and this ties in the Hopeless series with all of your perfects. So if you've not read, like, you pretty much have to read these 3 books prior and all of your perfects to fully get the grasp of why like this book is so special. This book is less than 100 pages. It's 83 pages, and I will tell you, I cried so hard reading this, because it is Six and Daniel. Daniel pretty much somehow finds where the baby's at, because she adopted the baby out, and that was a point of contention in their relationship. And so over Christmas break, I believe, they end up going and seeing the baby, and the baby ends up being Ava and her husband from All Your Perfects. So it really, that is spoilers, I'm sorry, but there's no way to talk about this without telling that spoiler. You kind of get it from the title. But yeah, it's very good. Like, I just cried so stinking much during like that book. And yeah, I don't know, I would recommend it. Last but certainly not least, I have Spare by Prince Harry. I read this March 11th through March 23rd. I actually listened to it on audiobook. If you don't have Libby, get it with your library. Like, you just have to have a library card, and then you can add it into that app. You can add multiple library cards, and then you can listen to audiobooks for free. They don't have all audiobooks on there, but that's why you add multiple different library cards. And yeah, I really like it. It's a free service. Yeah. But I said I give all autobiographies a 5 because they're someone's story. Prince Harry, this is his story. I'm not going to judge it off of that. He does read it in the audiobook, which is kind of cool. I will say there are bits and pieces of it that I did not need to hear, but like, there was funny tones, there was really dark tones, there were serious tones. Like, it was a good read. And yeah, he shared a lot, and in certain senses it was good. He did clear up the air on a lot of things, and by air I mean his brother. But yeah, I would suggest, if you don't like Harry, I don't know if you're gonna like this book, period. If you are like a William and Kate person, or a Prince Charles person, like, you are not, I guess, King Charles person now, like, you're not going to like this book. Simple as that. But I think like if you kind of just enjoy the royals or don't enjoy the royals, either way you lay on that, like I think you will like this, because he sheds a lot of light onto things that are not right, but also like he's still like in his true core, like he's a royal. So yeah, I don't know, I would suggest reading it, giving it a try. I really liked this book. I liked the way that he talked about his love story. I liked the way that he talked about his grief, like he talked about therapy. He talked about just a lot of stuff in his life. A few things he could have left out, but it all added to, like I said, it's his story. I'm not gonna judge it. So yeah, those are the books that I read this month. So yeah, I will see you guys in my next video, and yeah, go watch my other videos. Peace.